From Coral Seymour Memorial Park in Kenai, Alaska, it is game number 22 for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Tonight they will take on the Peninsula Oilers for the third game of this three-game set between the two squads, an interleague matchup in the Alaska Baseball League. The Oilers, though, have been in command of this one, already have the series victory, winning 2-1 on Saturday night, and then a 5-4 walk-off win yesterday afternoon. Garrett Mansfield here right next to me, Andrew, Alex, and Andrew. Tonight the Chinooks looking to salvage this three-game set, but the Oilers looking to maintain another sweep.
And yeah, tonight the Chinooks send out Braxton Wilkes, a guy who maybe they need right now, sporting an impressive 0.45 ERA on the season. That 13 Ks over 20 innings pitched, and hopefully he will be all they need tonight. But with the weather being a factor, like you said, Garrett, earlier to me off air, it's going to be a race to see who has the lead after the fifth inning. Hopefully we can get that far. We will see. Garrett?
The Oilers will send out Josh Medelis to pitch today for Matsu, a left-handed pitcher, as both teams throwing out southpaws for the first time in this series. Medelis, 6 foot, 185-pound junior, and Patrick Cromwell leads off yet again for the Chinooks and squares the bunt and fouls it up over the screen on time of the press box, and that's the beginning of this ball game. First pitch coming at 7:02. Rain and 64 degrees here in Kenai. So it's going to be Patrick Cromwell, Caden Owens, and Andrew Mogg to lead off for the Chinooks tonight. Medelis' 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball. Just missed down low for ball one. Tim Davis behind home plate tonight yet again. And then James Ainsworth back out in the field, the same umpiring crew we've had this whole series. They 1-1 high and outside, 2-1 the count now on Cromwell. So Cromwell would dig back in. 5 of his last 12, 2 for 4 last night. On the fastball from Medelis.
And he's been seeing the ball really well over the past couple of games.
So he'll dig back in. A gloomy day, light rain falling, and it was a nice morning, early afternoon, but ever since batting practice began and the 2-2 pitch, strike 3 called to Cromwell, and that's how the ball game will get underway. Ever since the two clubs began batting practice today, it was a rough go as the clouds came in, rain started to fall, but it hasn't been heavy as of yet. Caden Owens will hit next, another left-handed hitter for the Chinooks in their order, hitting an even 200. Breaking ball is going to dip in there from Medelis for strike. Owens has walked 10 times. That's second best in the Alaska Baseball League. The 0-1 is up and away, ball 1. He's also second in the ABL in stolen bases behind the Oilers' Billy Wilson, who's playing center field today. The 1-1 bounced straight back by Owens, makes it a 1-2 count. Andrew Mogg will be in the lineup today for the Fish. He's going to be the designated hitter. Staudinger will play first base, hitting 4th. Hitting 5th, the catcher Tyler Boxwell. Matt Ferrito will play second base and hit 6th. And downstairs is the 1-2 pitch. 2-2 on Owens. And then at the bottom of the order, the Killer Bees, Cameron Boronik, Jacob Brobston, left, right, and shortstop, respectively. Here's the windup in the 2-2 pitch from Medelis, and that's swung on and missed by Owens. Strikes to begin the ball game now twice, so Medelis off to a very good start. The last time out for him, this is just his 3rd Alaska Baseball League start. He didn't have a non-conference start against the but he has gone no longer than 5 innings in both of his time out. Went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts to the Gold. Breaking ball to Andrew Mogg, missed outside for ball 1. with a whip of 1.2. McNellis out of Fresno Pacific up it in to Andrew Mogg, makes it 2-0. Mogg still tied atop the ABL in home run way tie, though, with the Oilers' Ted Boeke and the Bucks' Stefan Trosclair, and that's popped up under there is Jimmy Galuski, and he will make the catch side. And the Chinooks go down in order 1, 2, 3 to begin this. Getting the order for the Peninsula Oilers, it'll be Jordan Washam. He plays second base, leading things off. Alex Seifert, he will hit second. Bennett Oliver, last night's hero, will hit third and play first base. Ted Boeke, the third baseman, is. Then Brian Room, the right fielder, hitting fifth in the middle of the order. Brent Diaz will do the catching. He hit sixth. Hitting seventh, Jimmy Galuski, the shortstop, will hit eighth, and batting ninth, the designated hitter today, James Folks. That lineup will be matched up against Braxton Wilkes. Wilkes 1-0, a .5 point over 20 innings of work, just his second start on the year. Last time out, he went 5 2/3, gave up 2 runs, but none of them were against the Matsu Miners, as he gave up 5 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
And Braxton Wilkes looks real good out there tonight. And, you know, a couple key defensive changes, of course. Cam Baronic playing in left field. Now, prior to his injury, he was playing, I'm sure, Coach Jordan Vieira, with Baronic coming off the PCL injury, keeping him in left field where he'll see less action, less kind of demanding physically, which will be a good adjustment for him, in my opinion. And, of course, Matt Ferruto at second base today. Hunter Hanks getting the day off at short. They moved Will Bass over to the shortstop role. But the key is going to be defensive soundness for the Chinooks with a guy like Braxton Wilkes out there. You cannot afford any errors in the field if you want to give your team a chance to win tonight. Garrett?
So Braxton Wilkes will face Jordan Washam, Alex Seifert, Bennett Oliver to lead off.
Number 19, Jordan Washam.
Playing second base, having a 1-for-7 series, and hitting .310 overall. So Braxton Wilkes, the windup in his first bounce found to the first base side. Braxton Wilkes. He's a native of. He will be attending Abilene Christian in the fall. That pitch to Washam is banked found to the left side and out of play. Well, past season at McLennan Community College, and now committing to Abilene to play his junior year. That's fouled off behind the plate. Stays at 2-2 with Washam. Wilkes began his career as a Division I signee to State
Wildcats.
He went on hit .336 at McLennan. That's popped up on the infield. Patrick Cromwell, the third baseman, comes in, makes the grab on the infield grass for the first out of the inning. That defense by Wilkes. Tyler Boxwell doing the catching. Michael Staudinger at first. Matt Ferruto at second. Will Bass will play shortstop today. And Patrick Cromwell at third base, as he has the other games of this series. Then Cameron Boronic out in left. Caden Owens in center. Jacob Brobst out in. Here's the first offering to Alex Seifert. That's going to be just a bit low. Ball 1 to the left fielder of Peninsula Oilers today. Seifert hitting .237, 1 of 9 in this series. He misses again, does Braxton Wilkes. But Braxton out of the bullpen for the Chinooks this season. As that ball hits softly into right field, going back, Jacob Brobst near the line, makes the over-the-head catch for the second out of the inning. So a couple of quick innings for Braxton and Wilkes to be inning. So both pitchers doing a great job setting the tone. But Braxton only threw a handful of innings at McLennan this past year, going 2 ways for the Highlanders, but he's been used as a right fielder and a starter for the Chinooks now. That pitch to Bennett Oliver downstairs, ball number 1. Oliver's having quite the series. going 2 for 7. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. Got the walk-off single. Lines that ball to center field. Caden Owens races back, but he's got this one ranged in and makes the catch in the Chinooks. Braxton Wilkes sends down the Oilers in order for the first inning and goes back and does the same thing Josh Medelis does. So after one, we are scoreless from Kenai. We'll be right back as you're listening to Chinooks Baseball. Left-handed hitting first baseman Michael Stotting looks to lead off inning number 2 against Josh Medelis. He winds up. The breaking ball is going to dip in there to Stottinger for strike 1. The junior left-hander from California on the hill today for the Oilers. He winds up. You're going to nip the outside, but just missed. Makes it a 1-1 count. Medelis was 3-1 with Fresno Pacific, and it's with Azusa Pacific. That's where Michael Stottinger goes the lazy fly ball to the left side and out of play.
Jordan Berzanski.
39-18-1 with a Fresno Pacific. 3 on the inside part of the plate to Michael Stottinger, and he'll go back looking as the third strikeout victim of the day for Medelis.
Number 15, Tyler Boxwell.
Left-handed hitting catcher Tyler Boxwell will dig in now, as 6 left-handed hitters are in the lineup for Jordan Vieira today to face the left-hander. First offering to Boxwell is going to be in there for a called strike 1. Boxwell leading the team in hitting at .314. He was 0 for 4 yesterday, however. The 0-1 going to bounce in there, makes it a 1-1 count. Dallas 53 strikeouts over 55 and 2/3 innings of work in college this spring. And he fires that one home to Boxwell, and he bangs it up and over the screen. And the count will move.
Sponsors Hanson Roofing.
He hasn't been much of a strikeout pitcher so far in the Alaska Baseball League. Just 4 strikeouts total coming into play today. This is that one high 2-2, but he has through 4 outs here in the top of inning number 2. Scoreless ball game from Kenai. Here's the 2-2 offering to Boxwell. Breaking ball, bang foul towards first. Having it is Bennett Oliver, and he is able to go to first base on his own, and that's the second out of the inning. Brings up for Rudo. Matt in a mini slump right now at the plate for the Chinooks. Got the day off yesterday. 9 for 21, period. And now he's down to 0 for 11. But 9 RBIs, hitting .288 out of the UAB. The Birmingham native as well, staying home and attending college. The second inning, first offering to nail the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Matt Ferrudo. He played last summer in the Great Lakes, Alaska this summer. 0-1 offering, outside corner called strike 2. Tim Davis a little faster with his ball and strike calls today. Of course, I have the feeling that both clubs are going to be working in a hurry today. With Eminent on the way. Breaking ball from Medelis misses downstairs 1-2.
And actually, against Fresno Pacific, Chinook starter Michael Fairchild threw 6-run baseball. Actually ended up taking the loss when the Fresno Pacific team beat them 1-0.
And Fruto grounds this ball to shortstop. Up with it is Galuski. Throws across a diamond. Dug out by Oliver. Just does get Matt Fruto. So the Chinooks go down in order yet again through 2 innings. So Braxton Wilkes has an opportunity to go out there and match the starter, Josh. So as we are in the middle of inning number 2, gives us an opportunity to remind you of the upcoming ball games for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. After today, they will head back home this evening. They will play home games the next 3 days before getting an off. The Glacier Pilots come to Chugiak Tuesday. There'll be a home game against the Gold Panthers on Wednesday. And then the Matsu Miners will have a visit with the Chinooks Thursday for Kids Day at the ballpark at Loretta French, as their good friends at the Matanuska Electric be the sponsor for that one. Here in the coming days about Kids Day, but all starts this week. And before that 3-game set with the Miners, a home and away and then home again. But, hard to believe that the Scouts showcase in the
week and a half
are
away,
less than 2 weeks away. Actually, 2 weeks from yesterday.
Wow.
So this season is...
And time flies when you're having fun out here in Alaska.
It really is, and especially when you have good baseball and a lot of it to watch. The Chinooks at 10-11. The first time they have been below 500 since early in June.
Since games when they first.
Yep, it was game number 4 against the Gold Panthers when they got the win to get to 2-2. Underway, Braxton Wilkes delivers one in the dirt, scooped up by the catcher Boxwell. As it'll be Ted Bokey, Brian Room, and Brent Dine. The hit for the Peninsula Oilers today. Bokey, out of Loyola Marymount University. The right-handed third baseman fouls this one back from Wilkes. The count is evened up at 1-1. Ted Bokey tying so far with the lead and home runs, just a pair. Wilkes delivers that one in the zone for strike 2, and that's basically been the theme of the year. It's been definitely a pitcher's league so far this season.
Oh, absolutely.
Not even 10 home runs combined as a league yet. That's going to be outside at 2-2. And 6 of them have come from one man. Or 3 men, that is. Good call, Andrew. Caruso went deep for the Miners last night. Hard to believe that's their first home run as a team. That ball is banged foul 2-2.
Wait, really?
And out of play. First home run for the Matthew Caruso.
Wow.
Their center fielder and leadoff hitter. Hard to believe.
I guess you're right. Yeah, true. They don't go. Well, that's a good. The Matsu Miners kind of half their threat is they're a team of everyone on that team could hit leadoff except for maybe Diorio, who's like a spot guy. 2-2
pitch from Wilkes is taken by Bokey for strike 3 of the day from Braxton Wilkes. Cal Baptist, Lancer, and Brian Room to the plate now. Playing right field. Brian Room tripled home a run yesterday. He's 2 for 8. He is another guy with a home run to his credit so far this year. Wilkes, the breaking ball, is going to miss it for the beginning of this at-bat.
Favorite umpire Tim Davis behind the plate again.
Ground ball sharply to the hole on the right side of the infield, but Matt Ferruto gets in front of it, knocks it down, and throws on. Good play by Matt Ferruto in the hole.
Impressive, of course. Matt Ferruto, usually the DH, but Jordan Vieira decided to give him a go at his in base today and
Brent Diaz.
coming out to impress early with that play.
Didn't make it look as easy as Jordan Washam does for the Oilers, but out nonetheless. Braxton Wilkes, the first offering to Brent Diaz. That's going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Diaz went 2 for 3 yesterday, a pair of RBIs out of Louisiana Tech. Wilkes is ready, the 0-1. It's swung on and missed. Braxton Wilkes down to 0-2 early in the count, getting ahead of hitters, and that's really what it takes. And he is working as both pitchers are doing their part to speed this ball game up and beat the weather. 0-2, and Diaz is going to not a bad time to do so, down 0-2. Here's the pitch from Wilkes, swung on, foul, right back to the plate.
He really
Barely.
just got a piece of that one.
Barely got a piece of it on the end of the bat. Diaz, another Conference USA athlete. We've seen quite a few of them as he fouls that one back, 0-2. Of course, UAB, part of Conference USA. Quite a number of their athletes here as well. Matt Fruto, the second baseman, Holt Davis getting the night day off as well. And then Luke Eichsty, a UAB signee. And that pitch from Wilkes downstairs makes it 1-2. So Diaz staying alive. And here's the 1-2 from second strikeout of the inning for Braxton, and Oilers go down in order for the second inning in a row as well. Looks no runs, no hits from either side through 2 innings of work. We go to the third as your baseball. We'll be right back. Top of the third inning we go. Cameron Baronic will lead things off. The Killer Bees due up for Jordan Vieira today in this bottom or the top of the third inning. Breaking ball from Medelis, missing just a bit high. Ball number 1. And Baronic lazy on the infield to the left side of it. And Ted Boakey, the third baseman, makes the grab for the out. And 1 gone.
Now at the bat, number 23, Jacob Rose.
Getting his first start of the series, having a streak. First pitch from Medelis, inside corner for a strike. Ropes out of Ohio State, hitting a solid 3-0-2 for the Chinooks. 0-1, swung on in the air, shallow right field, going over the second baseman Washam. He's near the line, makes a basket catch, and shallow right baseman Oliver and Brian Room, the right fielder, were all converging on that one.
Now at bat, number 6, Will
Bass hitting 9th in the order today for the Chinooks. Bass hitting a $181 yesterday. 1 for 4 with a double. Ended up scoring a run as well. First offering from Medellus downstairs, bounced in there, ball one. Welbass from Wayland Baptist in Plainview, Texas, where his dad is there for the 1-0 upstairs, 2-0. Welbass was the Pioneers MVP this past season. The 2-0 from Medellus, a big swing and a miss from Welbass. Not a very big guy. 160 pounds, but he swings violently. There's a pitch on the outside part of the plate, strike two, and nothing at all.
And with the pop that comes out of his bat, you figure that he is 20, 30 more pounds of muscle on it.
5 home runs this past season. Here's the 2-2 from Medellus, and Bass swings and misses at that one and goes down swinging for the 23rd time this year. So the Chinooks through the order once, and Josh Medellus has handled it with ease. 1, 2, 3 straight times through the first 3. In a scoreless ball game, and Braxton Wilkes will have to back out and match that. As here into the top of the in the middle of the third, we'll like to remind you that the Chinooks all over the place. The team's official website, CER Chinooks, keep up with the team in terms of their schedule. Photos of in terms of the roster, and then history of athletes in action baseball is there as well. And then don't forget, you can dial that up as well and find a way to every night. Find the Nook Nation page or button at the bottom, and you can click right on that. You'll be redirected to our YouTube page, and you'll be able to listen to us live on Facebook. Give that page a like, the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, and then on Twitter, the fish will be found at CER Chinooks. Billy Wilson will lead off the bottom of inning number 3 for the Peninsula Oilers. Wilson, Jimmy Goluski, and James will be the bottom third of the order for Oilers manager Kevin Griffin. Billy Wilson having quite for 6. First offering from Braxton Wilkes, just a bit outside, ball 1. Wilson hitting .244 over the course and entered just 200. So he's raised his batting average almost 40 points. Bangs that ball down to the first base side. Evens the count up at 1-1.
And we may remember the inning against Michael Fairchild with 3 bunt hits. Wilson's speed was really shown off there, and it's no surprise that he's leading the Alaska Baseball League in stolen bases.
Here's the 1-1 from Wilkes. Breaking ball, misses just a bit inside, and think this is yesterday when he stole second base and then stole third in the same at-bat. Took the league from Caden Owens. And ball is bunted foul to the third base side. Evens the count up at 2-2. But Braxton Wilkes, a pair of strikeouts through hits allowed. Josh Medellus, the same line, but with 3 strikeouts. Or actually make that 4 after the strikeout from Will Bass. Haven't counted that one yet. Here's the 2-2. And Wilson rolls it softly to first base, but it'll get wide of the bag. Michael Stauninger giving it a look on the way by. Here we are, 7:30 local time. In a ball game that started at 7:02, and we're almost through 3. Wilson hits this one in the air to shallow center field. Coming in is Caden Owens, and he's under it for out number 1. Jimmy Goluski now, the West Virginia Mountaineer, as the home plate umpire motioning for more baseballs, and he's one guy that's in a hurry today. I think he's very aware of the situation. One of the regulars in the ABL umpire help here. And here's the first offering from Braxton Wilkes. Outside corner called strike 1. And I think his strike zone might resemble that a little bit here today. Might be expanding this, get at least 5 innings in. There's the 0-1, and it's going to be a little bit outside from Braxton Wilkes as he tried to extend See how far he can get away with. Jimmy Galuski, 1 of 7 in the series. Outside from Braxton Wilkes, makes it a 2-1 count. Manning 3 games has been Galuski. Hitting .226 coming into play today. There's the 2-1 offering from Wilkes. Comes in just a bit low, below the knees. Makes it a 3-1 count. First time he's been in this situation. Closest thing we've had to a base runner today is a 3-1 count. So Wilkes, the left-hander, winds and fires. That's going to be a little bit low. Ball 4. And Jimmy Galuski is aboard with a 1-out walk as the first runner of the ball game. That brings up number 9 hitter James Folks.
Number 25, James Folks.
Hitting in the designated hitter slot. 320 coming into play. 12 RBIs. That's tops on the Oilers. Having a 4-for-8 series. From the bottom of the order. Unbelievable. First offering, and he swings at that one, hits it into the air to the left side or the right side and gets out of play. Look, but it'll just be strike number 1. James Folks out of the University of South Carolina Upstate. The real USC. South Carolina.
Statement.
Gotta go East Coast.
Always.
0-1 offering. Wilkes fires home and Folks waves at that one, makes it a 0-2 count. A native of Tennessee, began at Walter State Community College before moving on as a junior. Led the state of Tennessee in high school with 18 when he was a senior. Wilkes with a check of first base, throws over, but not until Galuski is back there. He's also an all-state as well in the state of Tennessee. Another throw over, a little bit of a better pickoff move, but back safely as Galuski. As a left-handed hitter, had a pretty mediocre move to first, but hitters. That pitch is away. Ball 1. Of course, as left-handers, they only have that advantage of holding run. But of course, a lot of lefties like to show a bad pickoff move the first couple of times in a ball game before making. And Galuski off on the pitch and down swinging is James Folks. So looks like defensive indifference move to second, but we'll see how they score it if it's going to be a stolen base or not. Strikeout of the game for
our second baseman,
James Folks. And now Jordan Washam, the first man to hit twice in this ball game. Washam with a pop up to third his first time around. Hitting from the left side as the second baseman for the Oilers today. Wilkes with a check of second and spins the pitch to Washam. Wilkes will come set again and fire home the first offering. Misses away, ball 1. Jordan Washam. The 1-0. Here's the pitch from Braxton Wilkes. That's in the zone. He was the count up at 1-1. Washam, he'll be a junior next year, so he's got to find a place to play out of Hines Community College, where he played with his 1-1 count. Here's the pitch from Wilkes. That's fouled straight back, makes it 1-2. One of the joys of going the JUCO way and then going a few thousand miles away for the summer. Chinooks players were going over their options. Some of them still are. Wilkes was one of them before his parents' alma mater at Abilene Christian. Hard liner to first base on one hop. Staudinger knocks it down, then picks it back up and takes it to first for the out. And after 3, and no hits, from Coral Seymour Memorial Park in Kenai, Alaska. We'll go to the fourth here, and we'll step aside and take a quick. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball.
Back here from Coral Seymour Park in Kenai, Alaska. We're in the top of the fourth inning now. The Chinooks hitless. Their first time through the order, but it's back to the top of the charts with Patrick Cromwell to the plate. Will be the first batter here in the top of the fourth. A scoreless game, no hits on either side. First pitch to Cromwell upstairs, ball one. Cromwell really getting into his stride now. He tripled yesterday. Pitch. And that's outside ball two. The windup delivers. And that's in the zone for a called strike, moves the count. Cromwell batting a $1.07 here. Awaits the 2-1 pitch, and he fouls that one off down the third base side out of play. Evens up the count at 2-2. Medelis, the 2-2 pitch. And that's dropped by the catcher on the outside. So the count now 3-2 count. The Chinooks still looking for their first hit of the game. Here in the top of the fourth inning, a scoreless ball game. The 3 Medelis, and that's going to be outside ball 4. So Patrick Cromwell trots over to first base, the first base runner. Chinooks this ball game, and now Caden Owens steps in. Owens, his first time up, went down swinging, was the second strikeout of Josh Medelis. Owens into the Cromwell taking his lead over at first base. And they're going to check him back. But he gets back there in a hurry after taking quite the lead over there at first base. And every run is going to be so crucial early here. And another close call on the pickoff move from Medelis. So Caden Owens still awaiting the first pitch of this at-bat. And Cromwell with another big lead over at first, the pitch. And that's grounded softly to the second baseman. Throw to first in time. Patrick Cromwell at second. A double play. So a 4 double play. And with 2 down, the batter is going to be Andrew Mock. Mocky flew out to the shortstop his first time up. And the Filipino phenom still leading the Alaska Baseball League in home runs. Tied with Stefan Trosclair and Ted Boki. The first pitch to Mock. On the inside, gets by the catcher. The count 1-0. The pitch. And that's going to be in the zone for a called strike. The count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here. A scoreless ball game in Kenai. here in the top of the 4th inning. The 1-1. And Mogg lines that one into center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. So the Chinooks with the first hit of the day for either side. And now trying to make quick work with this base runner is going to be Michael Staudinger. Stauds doubled yesterday, driving in the first run of the ballgame for the Chinooks. His first at-bat today went down looking. Stauds, the pitch, and that got him. Michael Staudinger hit by pitch. So now the Chinooks have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and the batter's going to be Tyler Boxwell. And now they're Boxy, who may not have been expecting to bat after the first out's made so quickly, having to take off his catching gear. So the master of disguise becoming another person here. And that person is himself as a batter.
Number 15, Tyler Boxwell.
So runners at first and second, 2 outs, a scoreless ball game here in the top of the 4th. The batter, Tyler Boxwell. And the Chinooks with 3 base runners this inning. But a double play that Cade Knowles hit into kind of reset things here. But Boxy with the opportunity to give the Fish the lead here. The pitch. And that's going to be in the zone on the corner. A called strike 1. Andrew Mogg standing at second. Michael Staudinger at first. The 0-1 from Adelis. And Boxy fouls that one down the third base side.
Baseball sponsors, Mike and Peggy Baxter.
So Boxy quickly behind in this at-bat 0-2. With 2 outs here. He steps in. Medelis. Mogg taking his lead at second. The pitch on the outside, ball 1. And if you're the Chinooks, not a bad guy to have at the plate in Tyler Boxwell. His .314 batting average leads all Chinooks. The count 1-2. Medelis looks back to his second. Looks back again. Sets, delivers. And Boxy swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to retire the Chinooks here in the top of the 4th inning. So no one runs on 1 hit, no errors. And as we head into the bottom of the 4th, Braxton Wilkes coming out for another inning of work. Braxton Wilkes on the day so far.
Please stand.
Has faced 10 batters, retired 9, walked 1. And he will see Alex Seifert, Bennett Oliver, and Ted Boakey, the heart of the order for the Peninsula Oilers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now we're going to do around the league here in the Alaska Baseball League. And the Gold Banners of Fairbanks are in Anchorage as we speak, taking on the Anchorage Glacier Pilots in another cross-divisional game. And the score right now in the bottom of the 6th, 3-0 in favor of the Glacier Pilots. And at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, the Anchorage Bucks have a 1-2 Matsu Miners in the top of the 4th inning. The Miners dropping a game at the hands of the Bucks yesterday could possibly have a 2-game losing streak if the Bucks can pick this one up, but still very early in that game and a 1-0 lead against the Matsu Miners. As the Chinooks know very well, not a very secure lead at all. So Tyler Boxwell coming back out right now, ready to catch and leading this inning for the Peninsula Oilers, Alex Seifert. Seifert, his first time up, flew out to right field, made the second out of the first inning. He comes in batting at a .237 mark on the year. So Seifert steps into the box. Still a scoreless game in the bottom of the fourth inning here in Kenai.
Now batting for the Oilers from Jacksonville, Florida, Alex Seifert.
Seifert out of the Jacksonville University. He is a Dolphin. And the first pitch of the bottom of the fourth in there for a called strike. The fastball. The 0-1 from Wilkes. And that's cracked foul out of play down the first base line. So the count quickly in Braxton Wilkes' favor. 0-2 here on Seifert. And looks like Seifert broke his bat on that one. Grabbing a new one from the Oiler dugout. And comes back into the box facing a count where he is behind 0-2. And Bennett Oliver goes and grabs a piece of chipped wood out of the batter's box. And now the 0-2. And that one skips right in front of Tyler Boxwell, a ball. So the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth. The 1-2 pitch. And that's grounded to the second baseman, Matt Ferruta. The throw to Michael Staudinger at first in time for the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning. So now Bennett Oliver steps up. Oliver, his first time up, flew out to center field. Comes into the game batting at the .235 mark. The first pitch from Braxton Wilkes. Misses on the outside, ball 1. The 1-0. And that he misses on the inside that time. So Braxton Wilkes uncharacteristically falling behind in the count 2-0 at the hands of Bennett Oliver. The pitch, and that's grounded to the second baseman, Matt Ferruta. The throw to first base, Michael Staudinger makes the grab for the second out of the inning. So a pair of 4-3 ground outs. The first 2 outs of the bottom of the fourth inning. And now Ted Boakey to the plate. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Ted Boakey's walk-up song, Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra. Definitely a classy move compared to some of the other walk-up songs you'll hear in this league. And the first pitch to Boakey is popped up sky high, foul ground. Michael Staudinger into foul territory, makes the grab for the third out of the inning. He was very deep in foul territory in that one. So after 4 innings of play, and it's just been under an hour for the first 4, still a scoreless game. Here in Kenai, we are going to step off for a second, but don't go anywhere. A pitcher's duel in Kenai. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. And we head into the top of the 5th inning here in Kenai, Alaska, a scoreless ball game between the Peninsula Oilers and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. And starting things off for the Chinooks here in the top of the 5th will be Matt Ferrudo. The Chinooks with no runs on 1 hit so far today. And the first pitch to Matt Ferrudo taken on the outside, ball 1. Now, remember, as we get into the 5th inning here, kind of each inning becomes more and more crucial with the rain coming. And Matt Ferrudo hits that one into deep left field, but under it to make the grab is Jordan Seifert for the first out of the inning. So Matt Ferrudo goes down, and that's going to bring up Cam Baranek. Baranek, his first time up, flew out to the third baseman, Ted Bokey. And with 1 down in the top of the 5th, he will be tasked to try to get something going for the Chinooks. The first pitch to Baranek, a curveball taken on the inside, a called strike. Baranek comes into the game batting .233, missed 10 games with a PCL tear. And he takes on the outside, ball 1, the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out, a scoreless ball game here in the top of the 5th. The pitch, and that skips in the dirt, gets right past the catcher, but not an issue. With no runners on base, the count moves to 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch, and Baranek fouls that one right back into the screen. The count even 2-2. Cam Baranek out of Santa Ana College. The pitch, and Baranek lines that one into left center field, a base hit. The Chinooks' second hit of the ball game. And now with a runner on and 1 out in the top of the 5th, Jacob Brobst is going to try to muster up the Chinooks' first run of the ball game. Brobst is hit in his last 3 games. Playing right field tonight, Brobst out of the Ohio State University. The first pitch to Brobst is lined foul hard down the first base line. So the count 0-1 on Jacob Brobst. Cam Baranek stands at first base, and that was his first hit since coming off the disabled list. And the pickoff attempt at first base gets past Bennett Oliver. But he gets to the ball in time to prevent Cam Baranek from advancing to second. And it looks like the bullpens are engaging in the wave war. Just a side note. The 0-1 pitch, taken on the outside, evens up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A scoreless game here in the top of the 5th inning. Cam Baranek stands at first. The pitch to Brobst, and Brobst fouls that one back into the screen. Moves the count to 1-2. So Jacob Brobst at the plate. In the on-deck circle is Will Bass. And he will bat next if the inning allows it. The 1-2 pitch to Jacob Brobst is what he awaits. He deals. And that misses on the outside, evens up the count at 2-2. The Chinooks trying to come out of with something to show for it after dropping the first 2, and that pitch to Brobst is on the inside. A full count now. And Cam Baronic takes a sizable lead at first. The pitch. And that is on the inside. Ball 4. Jacob Brooks trots over to first base. And now with Will Bass up, the Chinooks have runners at first and second with one out here in the top of the 5th. Trying to get on the board here in a scoreless ball game in Kenai. Will Bass yesterday doubled and came around to score. And he's been getting hot after having somewhat of an early season slump. First pitch to Bass. To the first baseman, the throw to second. In time, Will Bass trying to beat out the throw at first. And he will do it as they try to get Baronic at third, but no such luck. So Will Bass gets on in a fielder's choice, advances Cam Baronic to second, Jacob Brooks out. Or Cam Baronic advances to third, Jacob Brooks out at second. And now with 2 outs, runners at first and third, the batter will be Patrick Cromwell. Cromwell on the day, 0 for 1. Went down looking his first time up. He walked back in the 4th. And Patrick Cromwell's triple yesterday, 2 RBIs. First pitch to Patrick Cromwell on the outside, ball 1.
And this is the 5th inning of work from Medelis, which is as long as he's pitched all season long in all of his other 2 starts. So be interesting to see how he reacts, at least so far, and then going forward. There's no action in the bullpen just yet either.
Will Bass at first taking a lead. And that pitch to Cromwell is outside. Ball 2. They count 2-0. And a good situation for Patrick Cromwell, a guy who's been seeing the ball very well recently. The pickoff attempt from Medelis to first base to try to get Will Bass is not in time. As the speedy Bass, definitely a threat to steal. The 2-0 pitch. And that's in the zone for a called strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. A scoreless game in Kenai. Will Bass at first, Cam Baronic at third. The pitch. And that's going to be low, ball 3. And now a big hitter's count for Patrick Cromwell. 3-1. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Medelis delivers. Upstairs, ball 4. And Patrick Cromwell trots over to first base with his second walk he has drawn today. And now the bases are loaded for Caden Owens. And a meeting at the mound for the Oilers. And they have some action going in their bullpen. Caden Owens will be the batter. And we will see if the Oilers will keep their guy in. And he's going to have the opportunity to try to get out of this one himself. So Caden Owens steps in. He singled yesterday, came around to score. So the base is loaded, 2 outs, a scoreless game. The first pitch to Owens, a curveball upstairs, ball 1. And that ball sails in there for a called strike. The count 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The base is loaded. Medelis sets, delivers, and Owens rips that one right into the glove of the second baseman. Jordan Washam to end the inning here. So we are in the middle of 5, still scoreless in Kenai.
Fans, you too can be a part of the Peninsula Oilers baseball by taking part in our Give a Kid a Baseball program. Just $50 gets your name or business on the list of.
And Braxton Wilkes coming out for his 5th inning of work.
A sponsor is identified. You will be identified as an Oilers sponsor many times throughout the season. For more information, see an Oilers.
We're going to take a break for just a second. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. And we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. The score still 0 runs on the board for either team. And the first pitch to Brian Rumm is knocked into right field, a base hit. The first hit allowed on the day by Braxton Wilkes. So now with nobody out, a runner on first for Brent Diaz, the catcher, out of Louisiana Tech. Comes into the game batting .250 on the year. The first pitch, taken on the outside, ball 1. So the count 1-0. Wilkes sets, delivers, and that one is lifted into center field, another base hit. So after no hits through the first 4 innings, Braxton Wilkes quickly allows 2.
From Tulsa, Arizona, Billy Wilson.
And that's going to bring up Billy Wilson out of Loyola Marymount University. His first time up, he popped out to center field. And with runners at first and second, nobody out, he's trying to put the Peninsula Oilers on the board, and Wilson shows bunt, lays it down. Braxton Wilkes to throw to first in time, so the sacrifice successful as Diaz and Rumm both advance to second and third respectively.
Now batting from Arthurdale, West Virginia, Jim Galuski.
And Jimmy Galuski will be the batter for the Oilers. Brent Diaz, the runner at second. Brian Rumm, the runner at first. A pair of base hits and a sacrifice bunt have the Oilers threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning in a scoreless game. So 1 out, 2 on. Braxton Wilkes sets, delivers. The first pitch taken on the outside by Galuski. A righty-lefty matchup. Favorable for Jimmy Galuski here. Caleb Potter's roommate at West Virginia. The 1-0. And curveball misses on the outside. So the count goes 2-0. And Tyler Boxwell is going to go out and have a quick chat with Braxton Wilkes. The 2-0 pitch to Jimmy Galuski. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Galuski comes into the year 226. 6 RBIs to his name. Did not record an at-bat this season for West Virginia. The 2-1. Swing and a miss again. So Braxton Wilkes, after falling behind in the count 2-0, quickly gets Jimmy Galuski to wave at 2 balls. Get him one the count even, 2-2. The infield is in. Pitch. In there for a called strike 3. Braxton Wilkes got him looking. So now with 2 outs, Braxton Wilkes will have to retire James Folks to get out of this one unscathed.
From Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, James Folks.
James Folks struck out swinging his first time up. The third batter that Braxton Wilkes fanned tonight. First pitch to Folks. Taken on the outside, ball 1. Folks out of South Carolina upstate came into the game batting .320.
I would be really careful right here with him, especially with a left-hander on deck. Favorable matchup for Wilkes. I mean, if he walks him here, it really wouldn't be the worst thing in the world with a base open. Actually, I would probably have done it intentionally. This guy leads the team in RBIs. Got a couple of ducks on the pond, so a walk would not be bad here.
And he has done his damage to the Chinooks so far this series. Him and Billy Wilson being the 2 main problems that the Chinooks have had. And now, behind in the count 3-0. That was Braxton Wilkes. Garrett's right. Maybe just in your best interest to avoid this guy altogether. The 3-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. So the count moves to 3-1 with 2 outs, runners on second and third. Scoreless ball game here in Kenai, Alaska, Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. In the third game of the Chinooks road trip to the peninsula. The 3-1 pitch from Wilkes, outside, ball 4. So James Folks on with a base on balls. And now the base is loaded and 2 outs for Jordan Washam. Washam on the season, batting a .310 mark coming into this game, but 0 for 2 so far today. He's flown out to third and grounded out to the first baseman, Michael Staudinger. So the lefty Washam steps into the box. The first pitch from Braxton Wilkes is on the inside, ball 1. And Wilkes going inside, and as Garrett's mentioned in the past, sometimes a good thing to go inside early, make the batters uncomfortable. The 1-0. And that is popped up into center field. Caden Owens under it to make the grab for the third out of. So the Oilers threaten in the bottom of the 5th, but Braxton Wilkes gets out of the inning unscathed. We are going to be right back for the top of the 6th. An exciting game here in Kenai. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. would be all we would need.
Now batting for the Chinooks, number 10, Andrew Mogg.
And we head into the 6th inning of play here in Kenai, and leading things off for the Fish will be Andrew Mogg. First pitch to Mogg, sails in there for a called strike one. Mogg got the first hit of the day for the Chinooks back in the 4th inning, and he fouls that one down the third base line, falling behind in the count 0-2 here, but some good contact on the foul ball. And Mogg could give the Chinooks the lead with one swing of the bat. Pitch, and that was chin music at its finest. Almost hit Andrew Mogg right in the face, but he gets out of that one quickly, moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So 1 up, 1 down for the Chinooks here in the top of the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up Michael Staudinger.
Number 24, Mike Staudinger.
Staudinger on the day, went down looking his first time up, and then his second time up back in the 4th, hit by a pitch. Staudinger awaits the first pitch, and he grounds that one to the second baseman, Washam. The throw to first will be in time. So 2 quick outs for Josh Modelis here in the top of the 6th inning. With 2 outs, scoreless ball game still, Tyler Boxbell steps in. The pitch. And that's in there for a called strike 1. And the 0-1 pitch from Modelis. Low and inside, so the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. With 2 outs here, scoreless game in Kenai. The pitch to Boxbell is grounded foul down the first base line, moves the count to 1-2. And who will score first in this game? That might be all it takes. And the 1-2 pitch from Modelis upstairs, ball 2, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Boxbell, the master of disguise, the Chinooks leader in batting average. Looking to start something here with 2 outs. And the master of disguise takes that pitch up and away, and the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Modelis sets, delivers the 3-2, and that is ripped foul down the third base line. Good contact by Boxbell, but just a little ahead on that one. So we'll redo it again, the full count here. 3-2, and Boxbell lifts that one sky high, a pop-up. The second baseman, Washam, under it, makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Chinooks, through 6, still can't put one on the board.
Hey, parents, let those little ones burn some energy before you take them home.
And in the middle of the 6th, still 0-0 here in Kenai. Now, a little Major League Baseball update. Kirk Neuenheis channeling his former team, the Chinooks, as he, the 2007 member of Chris Beck's championship team, currently playing for the New York Mets. His first game back with the orange and blue, he just doubled. Runners on second and third with 1 out in a 0-0 game in the 8th. So Kirk Neuenheis, a guy who won Alaska Baseball League MVP with his time playing under Chris Beck and channeling his inner fish over there in New York. So congrats to him, and also congrats to Josh Donaldson, who set the votes record for the All-Star game, which he held for about 15 minutes until Bryce Harper beat him by about a couple million votes, actually. But the Toronto Blue Jay will be starting at third base for the American League All-Stars of this year's All-Star game in Dave Morton's hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. And he played in 2006 when Will Bass's dad, Brad Bass, was the manager of the what were then referred to as the AIA Fire up in Fairbanks.
42 warming up. Red Toes coming in next inning.
All right, thank you. And there's some action in the bullpen for the Peninsula Oilers. And it will be Corey Abbott out of Loyola Marymount, just finished his freshman year there. He is warming up for the boys from Kenai. So now into the bottom of the sixth we go, and starting things off for the Oilers will be Alex Seifert. Seifert 0 for 2 on the day, fly out, ground out. And Braxton Wilkes, the first pitch to Alex Seifert. Fouled back over the screen. The count 0-1.
Yeah, give a baseball sponsors, Carl's Jr.
Braxton Wilkes threw 5 innings. As that one's fouled off deep all the way to the Oilers bullpen. 2 walks, 2 hits, no earned runs. And 4 strikeouts so far. And that one is grounded to the shortstop, Will Bass. The throw to Michael Starting here at first is in time. And that was the first ground out to the shortstop all day that Braxton Wilkes has forced.
Now batting our first pitch,
So now
Bennett Oliver.
And just the 4th ground ball out on the day altogether. So now Bennett Oliver to the plate. Oliver 0 for 2, fly out, ground out. Comes into the game batting .235. First pitch to Oliver is lifted into left field. Under it to make the grab will be Camberonic for the second out of the inning. So Braxton Wilkes making quick work of the Oilers here in the bottom of the 6th so far. 2 down in a still scoreless game in Kenai. And Ted Boakey to the plate. Boakey tied with Andrew Mogg in the home run lead. Comes into the game batting .357, 8 RBIs. And Boakey lifts that one into deep left field, but under it to make the grab is Camberonic for the 3rd out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Braxton Wilkes. And after 6 innings, which only took about an hour and 15 minutes, we are still scoreless here in Kenai. A nail-biter between the Oilers and the Chinooks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the top of the 7th. You are listening to Chinooks Radio.
New pitcher on the hill for the Peninsula Oilers as we begin inning number 7. It is right-hander Corey Abbott out of Loyola Marymount University, a native of San Diego.
Number 9, Matthew Ferrudo.
And his first hitter he'll see is Matt Ferrudo, and then Cameron Baranek and Jacob Ropes. Braxton Wilkes on the other end of this one, pitching 6 superb innings to begin the ball game for the Chinooks. First offering is on the outside corner to Ferrudo. So that'll finish the day with Abbott coming in for Josh Medella. 6 innings of just 2-hit baseball, striking out 6. What a day for him. Another great start. His longest start of the year, actually. And Ferrudo bangs that ball foul to the right side and out of play. So Abbott just spent his freshman year at Loyola Marymount, as the Chinooks can now put some use to their 6 left-handed hitters in their lineup. Breaking ball from Abbott, misses outside 1-2. He did have a 1-1 record, did Abbott, with the LMU Lions. He appeared in 27 games. That's pretty good for a freshman reliever. Here's the 1-2 offering to Ferrudo outside. He holds up as he checked his swing, 2-2. Corey Abbott. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Ferrudo. That's downstairs. Makes it a full count. So here in the 7th inning, no runs, 2 hits apiece, no errors. The Chinooks have played extremely clean baseball defensively, and they've really cleaned up on that side of the baseball. And Ferrudo hits that one in the air, right side of play, and will hook amongst the fans. The count remains full. Hitting on the airs, the Chinooks. Errorless. Again last night. Just 3 errors here in 4 games in the month of July. Here's the payoff pitch to Ferrudo. He hits it pretty sharply to second base. And the second baseman, Washam, can't handle it. A rare error from Jordan Washam. That was all but routine, and he booted it. So Ferrudo was aboard to lead off the 7th. How about that?
Now, number 7, Cameron Baranek.
Washam, probably a prime candidate to keep the ABL's Golden Glove Award with the Peninsula Oilers, thanks to Miles Jones from last season. Washam playing a tremendous second base all series, committing an error. The first of the series by the Oilers. Throw back to first base, and Ferrudo back there safely, facing Cameron Baranek. Baranek singled back in the 5th, was stranded at third base as both the Chinooks and the Oilers loaded him up in the 5th inning on both halves. That pitch is downstairs, makes it 1-0 to Baranek. He squared to bunt, but held up. Cameron Baranek, 11 runs scored, so when he gets on, he's usually coming around, and that's hard to believe that after 11 games, he has 11 runs scored, only 3rd behind Vizcaíno of the Miners and Brian Room of the Oilers. Squaring the bunt again, hits it foul third base side, and will get out of play. Count moves to 1-1.
Baseball sponsor, Peak Oil Field Services.
Another tight one here at Coral Seymour Memorial Park. A pair of 1-run games in favor of the Oilers to begin this one. The Oilers won 2-1 on Saturday night, 5-4 in walkout fashion yesterday afternoon. Another tight one here on Monday night. Throw over the first out in time. Count remains 1-1. The Chinooks are 3-4 in 1-run ball games now after losing the last 2. Here's the 1-1 offering from Abbott, and dropped at third base side, and a beauty from Baranek. The throw to first from Boki gets Baranek, but the sacrifice is complete. And Matt Ferrudo in scoring position with 1 out for Jacob Ropes, and Will Bass to follow.
Number 23, Jacob Ropes.
Jacob Ropes has a 3-game hitting streak going, trying to keep that alive today. And a base hit here could possibly bring home the first run of this ball game. Still scoreless in the top of the 7th. Ropes hitting just north of 300 coming into play today. Does have a walk on the afternoon. Ferrudo away from second base. Corey Abbott checking him. Now the pitch home to Brobst. Breaking ball. The slider nips the outside corner for strike one. Corey Abbott working first base side of the rubber. He's a pretty big guy, 6'1", 201. Here's the 0-1 offering to Brobst that swung on, bounced to the right side of the infield. Could be trouble. And on the first, a quick play from Washam. Gets Brobst, but advances Ferrudo to third.
And the Chinooks put Will Bass with the task of driving in their first run of the game. Such a huge at-bat, especially with the impending rain. We don't know how many more opportunities they will have to score. Got to come out of Kenai with a victory here.
Will Bass playing extremely well, starting to swing the bat much better starting here in the month of July. In fact, has hit in both games he has played in here in Kenai. Fouls that pitch, backing up over the screen.
Thank you, baseball sponsors, Bonnie Pierce.
And he has actually hit in 4 straight ball games. Here's the 0-1 offering, and Will Bass yanks it first base side. There is the first baseman, Bennett Oliver. The flip underhand to the pitcher covering is in time, so the Chinooks cannot squeak that run home. So the one error does not come back to haunt the Oilers, and we are still scoreless here at stretch time in Kenai, and that gives us a chance to remind everybody that this broadcast is sponsored in part by BP, powering Alaska's future. Now let's take a peek at the Alaska Baseball League scoreboard, this time presented by the Alaska Club. It's where the Chinooks work out. Go on ahead and get over there as well. We have a final from Mulcahy Field. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots knocked off the Gold Panthers 3-0. They actually tied yesterday after 15 innings and did not complete that one. So the Glacier Pilots picked up their 8th win of the season. They're now 8-10-1, and the Gold Panthers will fall to 4-10 on the season. And then in Matsu down at Herman Brothers Field, the Matsu Miners were trailing 2-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. They escaped that inning with a 3-2 lead now, and still a scoreless game here in Kenai between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Braxton Wilkes back on the mound for the Fish. As so far, all he's done today, he's gone 6 innings, surrendered just 2 runs, striking out 4. Pretty good start for Braxton Wilkes. Middle of the order for the Oilers due up: Brian Room, Brent Diaz, and Billy Wilson. Lefty-lefty matchup here between Room and Braxton Wilkes. Wilkes rocks into the motion. The first pitch at the bottom of the 7th is in the dirt, blocked by Boxwell for ball number 1. The Chinooks will be back home for the next 3. Wilkes fires high, ball 2. Pilots, Gold Panthers, and Miners, 3 separate days in the middle of this week. Here's the 2-0 outside, just off the edge. 3-0 to Braxton Wilkes. Not much movement going on in the bullpen. But there are some guys with some movement. Here's a 3-0 from Wilkes. That's on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Moves the count 3-1 against Brian Room. There is some light throwing going on in the Oilers' pen. Braxton Wilkes winds and fires the 3-1, roped to second base, but Matt Ferrudo gets a glove on it, gets up, throws to first base, and just does get room for the first down of the inning. What a play by Matt Ferrudo. Brian Room scorched a 3-1 offering. Matt Ferrudo,
number 15, Brent Diaz.
Great reaction. That wet grass out in the shallow right field had Ferrudo slip a little bit, but he was able to recover in plenty of time. 1 gone in the bottom half of inning number 7. Braxton Wilkes fires home. The first pitch to Diaz is fouled up and over the bullpen of the Oilers on the right field line. Wilkes peering over that mitt. Winds up and fires home. Hits the outside part of the plate, but just a bit off. Makes it a 1-1 count. Wilkes getting the sign from Boxwell. Winds it up the 1-1. Hit into the air to right field. Jacob Brobst ranging in. He's under it near the foul line and makes the catch for out number 2. The Peninsula Oilers have just squeaked out 2 hits today from Brian Room and Brent Diaz. Back-to-back hits in the 5th. They loaded them up in the 5th with just 1 out. But Wilkes escaped that jam. And since then, he's gone and retired 6 in a row, looking for the 7th here against Billy Wilson. But he's been a tough out so far this weekend. And that's fouled first base side for the first pitch of the at-bat, the ABL's leader in stolen bases. But he hasn't had a chance to get on base today. Wilson digs back in. The pitch to the left-hander is on the inside part of the plate, 0-2. So Braxton Wilkes a pitch away from his 5th strikeout of the evening. Some light throwing in the Chinooks bullpen. Can't get a read on who it is just yet, but here's the 0-2 to Wilson, low and away, ball 1. So 1-2 the count on Wilson, 2 outs for the Oilers. A scoreless ball game here in the bottom of inning number 7. Wilkes, the 1-2 offering, swung on in the air right side, and that'll hook foul towards the Oilers bullpen and get out of play. Stays at 1-2.
And Jacob Brove sprinted over for that one just to watch it fly out of play. But a good effort by Brobst, and Braxton Wilkes pitching a gem here tonight.
Longest outing of the year, of course. Wilkes 5 2/3. His last start did have a 5 1/3 inning of relief at one point this year as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wilson, swung on in the air to right. Brobst is ranging over. That's in foul ground if he's under it, and he is there and makes the catch, retires the side. We are through 7. The Chinooks and the Oilers are still scoreless. We'll be right back for the 8th, as this is your home for Chinooks baseball. Top of the order for the Chinooks due up here in the 8th inning against new pitcher for the Oilers, Sean Michael. It'll be Patrick Cromwell to hit. Michael winds it up. The first offering of the night for him is outside corner called strike 1. And just thinking ahead a little bit, even though Paul Lujan has worked 2 days in a row, I would still expect to see him. Pitch low and away. 1-1 goes the count on Cromwell. So if I was expecting the score, I would get after it and do it now, because I don't know how much you'll have a chance against Lujan. And Cromwell bounces one to short. Up with it across the diamond is in time. And the Chinooks leadoff hitter grounds out to leadoff inning number 8. So Caden Owens, Andrew Long will follow.
Caden Owens.
Already into the 8th inning, just a little over an hour into this one. In a all-out pitchers duel. No runs, 2 hits apiece from the Chinooks and the Oilers. An interdivision battle of the Alaska Baseball League. Into the motion, the first pitch from Michael, and Owens lines this one into center field, but under there is the center fielder Billy Wilson, and he makes the out for out number 2. 2 quick outs for Michael in the 8th.
Number 10, Andrew Moss.
Brings up designated hitter from Virginia Tech, Andrew Mogg.
The broadcaster from Virginia Tech, Andrew Alex. Who would have thought? 2 Andrews from the same school, traveling together all the time. Very confusing. Very confusing.
Sean Michael winds up the first offering to Mogg. Breaking ball misses high, ball 1.
I would say the big difference between us is our power threat.
Easily. Here's the 1-0 to Mogg. Breaking ball at the letters, called strike 1. Evens it up. Andrew Mogg, one of those guys in the Chinooks order that can change a ball game in just one at-bat. That's bounced right back to the mound, but Michael is going to limit it. He spears it and throws on to first for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Chinooks are held off the scoreboard for the 8th straight inning. They go 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 8th and onto the hill for the bottom of the 8th inning. Braxton Wilkes, he's going to come on out and keep his shutout intact. Still some throwing going on in the Chinooks bullpen. And so far tonight, just to get everybody caught up on the performance of Braxton Wilkes, 7 innings of just 2-hit baseball. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. No runs allowed. Of course, the Oilers have sent 3 different pitchers up there and shut out the Chinooks as well. Josh Medelis went the first 6, giving up just 2 base hits, walked 3, struck out 6. And then Corey Abbott and Sean Michael, a pair of scoreless innings each, or a scoreless inning each, to get us here into the bottom of the 8th inning. And another check of the Alaska Baseball League scoreboard. This time brought to you by Healthwise Care Center of Eagle River. In the top of the 7th, the Miners still over the Anchorage Bucks, 3-2. And what looked like we were going to have a questionable length of this ball game. And
We're going to play 9.
Yeah, as the weather came in, it looked like it was going to be a factor, but has not been much trouble at all. Just overcast skies in the low 60s here in Kenai. And hopefully we can get through this last inning and a half without getting too wet. First offering of the 8th inning. Misses high and outside from Braxton Wilkes to Jimmy Galuski, James Folks, and then Jordan Washam. 8, 9, and 1. 2 up. There's the offering upstairs. 2-0 from Braxton Wilkes.
And it looks like the guy who's warming up in the bullpen for the Chinooks. Does that look like Jason Carkenny to you? That's kind of what I see.
Yeah, that is who I see as well. The 2-0 fouled up and over the screen. Stays it. Now goes 2-1. Carkenny worked a pair of scoreless innings back on Saturday night. 2-1 from Wilkes, swung on in the air, hooking towards right field, and there is Jacob Brobson reaches up to make the catch. So the first out of the bottom of the 8th goes Jimmy Galuski, and 3 straight fly balls to right field caught by Jacob Brobst. And now James Folks, a strikeout and a walk in this one. First offering from Wilkes, and Folks takes this one high and wide, ball 1. Could almost believe this is the last, regardless of result. A big swing and a miss, good changeup from Wilkes. Moves the count 1-1 on Folks, as he is nearing the 90s in pitches just now in the 8th inning. The 1-1 misses a bit high, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch, fouled up and over the screen, makes it 2-2.
I gotta say, Garrett, I don't think there's anyone doubting Chris Beck's move to bring Braxton Wilkes into the rotation.
Yeah, not at all, especially with the high volume of games being played in a row here late June, early July. And a big swing and a miss from Folks, and that is the 5th strikeout of the game. for Braxton Wilkes. Two gone in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brings up the top of the order in Jordan Washam. Braxton Wilkes. What a start from the left-hander.
He's retired 8 in a row here. 9 in a row, actually.
Grant Page will get the start tomorrow, and then Connor Menez will face the Gold Panthers on Wednesday. Good luck.
Good luck, Gold Panthers.
1-0 begins the at-bat against Jordan Washam. Here's the 1-0 bounce to first. Michael Stoudinger on one hop has it. Takes to the bag himself for the out. And we have played 8 full. No score from Kenai.
No hits, no errors, no man left down.
As we go to the 9th inning, someone's got to score in this one or else we've got free baseball. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball. We'll be right back. Ninth inning set to begin, and guess who for the Peninsula Oilers? It is right-handed closer Paul Lujan, working for the 3rd straight day against the Chinooks. Lujan strikeouts in an inning of work on Saturday. Yesterday, in the 9th inning, he'll face Michael Stoudinger, Tyler Boxwell, and Matt Fruto. First offering from Lujan outside, ball 1. Lujan might be one of the harder throwers out of the bullpen for the Oilers. Here's his 1-0 to Stoudinger, way in. Lujan, a right-hander from West Texas A&M. He calls Thornton, Colorado home. There's the 2-0 offering. One inside, ball 3. You get him aboard and possibly a pinch runner in the form of, maybe David could emerge from the bench for the Chinooks. Run around. So 3-0 is the count on Stoudinger. Lujan winds it up. The pitch is outside corner, called strike 1. Stoudinger taking all the way on that one. Stoudinger, big wave and a miss. Makes the count full. He has not faced Lujan. His first look of him. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, rolled towards the first. He has it. The underhand flip to Lujan is in time. That's how the top of inning 9 will begin. Brings up Tyler Boxwell to hit with 1 out.
And if you're the Fish, you got to score. Honestly, you can't let Braxton Wilkes throw 8 innings of shutout baseball and not get a victory for that. That's just...
Tyler Boxwell.
The Chinooks have left 6 men on base. The Oilers just 4. First pitch to Boxwell hits the outside part of the plate for a strike. Both clubs loaded the bases in the 5th inning, so that's really to cross that one out because both clubs had the same problem. Boxwell bangs one in the center field, but it'll be a high fly ball. Billy Wilson for the second out. So second baseman Matt Ferruto be the last chance to do something in the 9th for the Chinooks. He is 0 for 3. He reached on an error and was in scoring position.
Now up to bat, number 9, Matthew Ferruto.
With 1 out last time. he was at the plate. That was back in the 7th. Reached on an error by second baseman Jordan Washam. Here's the first offering from Lujan. That's going to be just a bit away. Ball 1 to Ferrudo. We're in the top of the 9th inning. No score. Park and Kenai, Alaska. Here's the 1-0 to Ferrudo. And he takes that one from Lujan. Low and away, 2-0. And Cameron Baranek, the 2 base hits for the Chinooks. Brian Room, Brent Diaz, the 2 for the Peninsula Oilers. And Lujan fires a changeup as Ferrudo cuts and misses. Makes it a 2-1 count. No throwing in the Chinooks bullpen. So could we see Braxton Wilkes for we will see. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Lujan. Breaking ball hits the zone to Ferrudo. Evens it up at 2-2.
And remember, the Chinooks are going to have to face the heart of the Oiler order in the bottom of the 9th.
2-3-4. So here's the 2-2 pitch to Ferrudo. A swing and a ground ball towards the third baseman, Ted Boki, and he's got it. Throw on the first, retires Ferrudo. Can the Oilers walk off with it for the second day in a row? We'll see. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back for the bottom of the 9th on Chinooks Radio. New pitcher on the hill for the Chinooks for the first time tonight. It's Jason Carkenny. Carkenny with his 7th appearance now. He has worked 7 1/3 innings of work previously. 3.68 ERA. The last time out for Carkenny was on Saturday night. Worked 2 scoreless innings, walked 1, struck out 1. And he will face Alex Seifert, Bennett Oliver, and Ted Boki. First offering from the right-handed pitcher Carkenny misses high, ball 1.
So
Carkenny out of the Masters College. And Seifert pops one up behind home plate. Boxwell giving a look. He's under it. Makes the catch. So that is how the bottom of inning number 9 starts. And both off sputtering. 2 hits apiece. After 13 combined base hits on Saturday and then 16 combined base hits yesterday, 4 today. Bennett Oliver, he was the hero yesterday in a walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 9th for the Oilers yesterday, and he laces that one towards left center, going back Hayden Owens, and he's going to hit the brakes and make the catch.
that was Oliver trying to be a hero 2 days in a row, and maybe at Fairbanks, but
2 quick outs for Jason Carkenny. And the last shot is Ted Boki for the Oilers before we have extra innings. Have a pair of home runs on the season. 0 for 3 today. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. Carkenny winds up and fires, and Boki waves and misses at a nice changeup. from Jason Carkenny. Carkenny, 6'3", 185. He'll be a junior next year with the Masters Mustangs. Same alma mater as the Chinooks GM and pitching coach Chris Beck. And Carkenny fires a cutter, low 1-1. Jason, the younger brother of Stephen Carkenny, a two-time Chinook Masters, now playing single-A baseball with the Helena Brewers. And Boki lines that one foul to the left side and bounces into the beer gardens. Makes it a 1-2 count. 2 outs, so we're in the bottom of inning number 9. We are scoreless. Closest thing either team has had to scoring today was bases loaded. Both teams did that in the 5th. Josh Medelis got out of it in the top of the 5th for the Oilers, and then Braxton Wilkes kept the Oilers off the board. And that's a shallow fly ball in the center field. Coming in as Caden Owens makes the grab, and we've got extra innings, folks. No score after 9. We'll come to the 10th inning in just a moment. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball. We are back to action at the top of the 10th inning. The Peninsula Oilers scoreless after 10 innings. Here's Cameron Baronic. Paul Lujan back on the mound for the Oilers, and it's a 1-1 count now. The Chinooks 1-0 in extra inning ball games. The last time they did so was in 13 innings back on June 22nd at Mulcahy Field in Anchorage. Baronic takes that one 2-1, and Baronic was actually the hero of that one.
That was suns out, guns out day.
Hitting a bases clearing triple. That's high ball 3, and Baronic doing what he does best, working the count. He's up ahead 3-1 to Lujan, who has not really been as sharp as we've seen him, but he has gotten the job done. And that is inside corner, called strike 2, so the count will run full. Lujan has been lights out the first 2 games we saw him, but, had a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Didn't blow anybody away, though. And Baronic goes down swinging, so as soon as I say that, Baronic, the first strikeout victim for Paul Lujan on the day. 1 out for the Chinooks in the 10th. And Jacob Brobst to the plate.
Number 23, Jacob Brobst.
Brobst an extra opportunity to extend his 3-game hitting streak hopefully today. First offering to Brobst, misses high with a breaking ball. And then Will Bass, who's hitting 4 straight, keep his going. He'll bat next behind the 1-0. That's in there all the way. 1-1.
And the Chinooks haven't gotten a hit since Cam Baronic singled in the top of the 5th.
1-1 to Brobst. That's a slider. Hits the outside edge. 1-2. No hits from the Chinooks since the 5th. No hits from the Oilers either since then. Here's the 1-2. Brobst takes it inside, makes it 2-2. But what a start from Braxton Wilkes. Goes 8 innings, gives up 2 hits, walks 2 as well, strikes out 5. But the shutout can't last forever. Here's a roll to shortstop, and the throw on the first just Jacob Brooks. The throw was up the line a little bit. Oliver, they say he had his foot on the bag, and Jordan Vieira comes out quickly.
Sprinting.
Talk this one out with James Ainsworth. And remember, a while ago, Ainsworth tossed Jordan Vieira on a very similar play back at Loretta French Park a few weeks ago. And Vieira letting it be known to Ainsworth again, believing he's in the wrong. So going to be 2 out, number 10. And Vieira still going at it. But the Chinooks will have one more hitter this inning at least in Will Bass. Bass is 0 for 3. And the Chinooks have gone through the order now 4 full, been able to score. The Oilers the same fate, as they'll have Brian Room, Brent Diaz, and Billy Wilson due up in the bottom half of this inning. And now it looks like Tim Davis is going to slowly walk up. I don't know how to get to this conversation, as pleasantry is being exchanged between James Ainsworth and Jordan Vieira, and Jordan's going to come back to the dugout now.
His foot did look like he was off the bag, but who am I to say? Wi-Fi not quick enough for me to go back and look at the instant replay. Not that this camera is good enough to provide a solid instant replay, so 2 down.
Regardless, the plate. Bass has hit in 4 straight. Got a board on a fielder's choice in the 5th. He'll look to and extend this inning, trying to turn the order over for Patrick Cromwell. Here's the first offering from Lujan. Breaking ball, misses down and in. No runs, 2 hits for the Chinooks, no errors. The Oilers the same, but count. And Bass fouls this off at the plate. Evens the count up at 1-1. Paul Lujan working in his 2nd inning. Has sat down all 5 Chinooks he has seen. Braxton on a row to end his day. And Jason Carkenny came right out and retired 3 of 3 Oilers. And Bass grounds this one softly up the first base line. Lujan scoops it up, takes it to the bag himself for the out. Rare one unassisted. And the Chinooks go down in order in the top of the 10th inning.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and no men left on base.
And that'll bring up the Oilers in the bottom inning. Brian Room, Brent Diaz, Billy Wilson. 1 for 3, 1 for 3, and 0 for 2 are the lines for those young men. And you all that the Chinooks will be back in action tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at Loretta French Park. They'll see the Glacier Pilots, who are winners today 3-0 over the Alaska Gold Panthers. And then the Gold Panthers, they'll be in town on Wednesday since they're still hanging out in Anchorage. And then it'll be Kids Day on Thursday night with a 7 p.m. start against the Masters Miners this evening, 5-2 at Herman Brothers Field. That game is in the top of the 8th inning. Games on the ABL docket tomorrow. The Oilers will down as well today, heading to Anchorage, and they might leave tomorrow. Who knows? As they'll visit the Anchorage Bucks and the Glacier Pilots while they're down in that area. As probably see the Miners, maybe, possibly. Look at their schedule too close. And then the Painters and the Miners will continue their series tomorrow night as well.
A Gold Panthers Miners series. Talk about teams heading in a different direction since last year's top of the World Series.
Could be a yawn fest there. Not Brian Room, soft roller to first base on the first pitch at the bottom of the 10th inning, and no problem for Michael Staudinger out number 1. Diaz is 3 of 7
Miami, Florida, Brent Diaz.
over this weekend wraparound series. A 3-game set between the Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. The Fish will be heading home after this one. So Carcani, the first off for the Diaz inside corner, called strike one. At the beginning, on the outset of this one, it looked like we were going to need some luck to get through 5 innings. But we have gotten through twice as much as that, as we are in the bottom of inning number 10. Sky's actually kind of clearing up a little bit beyond center field, but behind us is what we're worried about. Swing and a miss from Diaz makes it 1-2. Action in the open, so Paul Lumhan, it'll be questioned if he'll come back out for a 3rd inning.
And after
if this game continues.
3rd day in a row playing, I doubt it.
Here's the one. Goes outside to Diaz. Draws it even at 2-2. Jason Carcani, he led the Masters College in strikeouts this year. That's grounded foul 3rd base side by Diaz. Of course, he was tied with that lead with Connor Menez. You imagine having a 1-2 rotation with Connor Menez and Jason Carcani all spring? Not too bad.
And the team.
Here's the 2-2 offering, Carcani, and that's going to be a soft liner to Will Bass. He's got it on one hop, got to make a play from deep short, and he does so. To the first baseman, Michael Steininger, 2 outs in the bottom of inning number 10. That'll bring up Billy Wilson.
Billy Wilson.
Wilson 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt in this one. Got Jason Carcani, 67 strikeouts over 112 innings. Pretty impressive. First offering misses downstairs, ball 1 to Billy Wilson.
Kark looking good out there so far today.
I'm still kind of shocked he's not in the rotation yet, not getting some starts, but the bullpen has been a great role for him so far. And Wilson bangs that ball foul, first base side off. It'll be a foul ball. And he let that go, and Tim Davis, adamant about that one being a foul ball. Carcani and him exchange smiles.
And I think that probably the reason that you have Jason Carcani and you have Teddy Christie, guys that are both established starters at school, is just for this long relief bullpen role when you really need to shut someone down late in the game. And Kark and just that so far for the Chinooks this season.
1-1 to Wilson, outside corner, strike 2. So Carcani just 1 strike away from making this one into at least an 11-inning game. No score, bottom of the 10th. Between the Chinooks and the Oilers here in Kenai, Alaska. And Wilson hits this one in the air, not very deep, to center. Coming in, Caden Owens. He is under it in shallow right center and makes the out. We go to the 11th. The Chinooks and the Oilers still scoreless. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball. Top of the 11th inning. 10 innings was not enough to decide this one. Between the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers, top of the order for the Chinooks, and they'll face a new pitcher in Shane Ennis out of West Virginia. Ennis worked 2 scoreless innings on Saturday night in relief. Patrick Cromwell, 0 for 2 today. He has a pair of walks, having a tremendous series here in Kenai. First offering to Cromwell, downstairs, ball 1. The infielder, or at third base, Ted Bokey, playing well off the line. And at the cut of the ball, goes the other way and down. And he can run for days. The 1-0 downstairs, 2-0 from Ennis. And the catcher, Brent Diaz, wants to go out there and talk with his new pitcher for a moment just to make sure he's settled in okay.
Lefty-righty matchup favorable for Patrick Cromwell here.
Cromwell will dig back in. Ennis into the motion, his 2-0, and that's going to be downstairs at the knees, 3-0 to Cromwell. Caden Owen will be the other hitters due up for the Chinooks. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Cromwell, and that's down and inside, ball 4, third walk of the day for Cromwell. And with Caden Owens 0 for 4 today, I believe a sacrifice bunt would be the obvious move. But who knows? Owens can certainly fly. And if he pulls one first baseline, he might be able to beat it out. But the third baseman, Ted Bokey, walking in on the infield grass, pretty close over there at third. Owens will square the bunt, pulls it back. It's ball 1. In 5 evening for Shane Ennis here in the 11th. The Chinooks, their first base runner since the 7th inning. Hard to believe, but the Oilers haven't had one since the 5th. The 1-0, and that's going to be low, and Owens squared but pulled back, and it gets away from the catcher Diaz in the on the wild pitch.
And that's huge.
That is an enormous advance for Cromwell. And now the infield will come in as D mound. And now Jordan Vieira wants to talk to Caden Owens. Wondering if bunt is even still in the cards here. Unless you want to hold back and let Owens swing away, but in 2-0.
He's going to get some junk over the plate.
Just going to be the call of the manager. That's why he's on the field and I'm up here. If I could make those calls, I don't think I'd be in this business.
No kidding. Same.
2-0 the count on Owens. Cromwell aboard with a walk. He's gotten the second base a couple seconds ago. Shane Ennis is ready. The 2-0. Owens squares the bunt, pulls it back, but it's a strike. The first one, Ennis, after 7 pitches. Andrew Mogg will hit next for the Chinooks.
The Filipino phenom.
Quite the guy I'd like to have at the plate in this situation, but Caden Owens, his job to try to advance Cromwell, the go-ahead run at third, and he's going to slash back to second base, and they got Cromwell second and third. Owens is going to try to advance to second, and they have Cromwell between second and third still. And there's the pitcher. Ennis is going to get him, but Owens is going to be in to second base on the fielder's choice.
Well, not as bad as it supposedly could have been. Owens with advance to second there.
Yep. You still have a runner at second base, but now 1 out. Same result. Owens, gutsy call and going with the slash bunt, regardless of the sacrifice, because both the corner infielders for the Oilers were
way
couple feet away. If he hits that anywhere else, but right back at the mound, and that's a huge play for the Chinooks. Now it's going to be up to Andrew Mogg. And I'm looking beyond center field, and dark skies are looming, coming in off the ocean. The first offering to Moggy. Soft roller, the short coming in. The shortstop, Galuski, he's got a just in time. Gets Monk at first base. Advancing to third is Caden Owens. And now Michael Staudinger has to get a base.
Big spot here for Stotts.
Ennis has been nothing but high-pressure situations in this one, but he has found a way to get a cut. Staudinger. 0 for 3. He was hit fourth. Struck out in the second. Righty-lefty matchup. Ennis will work out of the windup. His motion. Band fires outside ball one. Tyler Boxwell will hit next if Staudinger extends 2 outs, top of inning number 11, and a scoreless ball game. Here's the 1-0. Staudinger down and in from Ennis. And also key to note, with Owens 90, could probably score him.
I was about to say the same thing.
Owens away from third. He's the go-ahead run. No score in Kenai. Here's the 2-0 to Staudinger. The pitch swung on and a foul back to the screen. We'll do it at 2-1 now. The Oilers with a 2-1 victory Saturday and a walk-off 5-4 win yesterday afternoon. It's bad heroics from either team today. High and wide from Ennis, ball 3 to Staudinger.
Showtime, 3-1. Hitters.
Quite the situation. Staudinger.
Righty lefty, too.
He has his last 2 ball games going 6 for 10 over that time. Hitless so far today. Here's the 3-1 to Staudinger. A swing and a ground ball up the middle. There is Jordan Washam. He has it. The throw to first. We have gone through 10 and a half. Chinooks leave a runner at third base. And a big failed situation in that one. Leadoff runner aboard, Patrick Crum with nobody out. And then the play as Owens tried the slap bunt and gets Cromwell out. Run down, but Owens was able to get the second base, got the third after the second out. Andrew Ma grounded out to the shortstop. And then Michael Staudinger, the final out, grounding out to the second baseman, Jordan Washam. So it's going to be up to Jason Karkenny to try to keep this game going. Jimmy Galuski, James Folks, and Jordan Washam will hit against the Oilers. And 16 batters in a row have been sent back to the first base dugout for the Oilers since the 5th inning. Braxton Wilkes with the big 8 innings of work, 2 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts from him. Oilers have used an arsenal 5 pitchers so far through 11. Bottom of the 11th we go. Karkenny finishing up his warm-up pitches, get a look on some finals around the Alaska Baseball League today. As the Glacier Pilots were winners 3-0 over Mulcahy Field. And the Miners on their way to what looks like another victory at Herman Brothers Field. They're leading 5-2. Average box. 11 innings played and just 2 hits apiece from each side. The Chinooks have left 7 men aboard through 11 innings. The Oilers, only 4. Offering to Galuski, popped him up a mile high on the infield. Coming in, the shortstop Will Bass calling out the second baseman Ferrudo, and he makes the catch, runs that streak to 17 in a row. Sat down by for the Oilers. Shooks pitch really on top of it. Action in their bullpen. The Chinooks bullpen, that is. Some light throwing beginning. Also throwing going on for the Oilers. And Folks pops this one up. First base side, foul ground. Tyler Boxwell, the catcher, is under it. 2 pitches, 2 outs. 18 in a row down by Chinooks pitching. And it'll bring up Washam 0 for 4. Makes him 1 for 11 on the series. 2 outs. No score in Kenai. First offering from Carkenny, outside corner, called strike 1. And these rain clouds getting closer and closer to the ballpark beyond center field. The 0-1, and that's hit high and deep to right, but will be well foul and out of play. So an 0-2 count on Washam. So Carkenny will dig down, one pitch away from sending this one to the 12. He is ready, fires home, a little bit low and outside.
And Garrett, with this one being such an excellent game by both pitchers.
Here's the 1-2 from Carkenny. Swing and a foul ball behind the plate, and out of play again. We'll stay at 1-2.
It would be a shame to see this one get called by rain.
It really would be. The Gold Panthers and the Pilots called it quits after 15 innings last night. Here's the 1-2 on the ground, and that's going to be a seeing eye single through the left side of the infield. A 2-out single for Jordan Washam here in the 11th. Didn't hit it hard, just right where nobody wasn't. Seems to be the theme in this one.
From Jacksonville, Florida,
That'll bring up Alex Seifert. He's 0 for 4. Just the third hit of the day for the Oilers in this one. Washam does have 5 stolen bases. He's away from first. Carkenny fires home, and that's popped up. First base side, foul ground. Michael Stoniger, he's under it and makes the out. We go to the 12th inning. Still no score in Kenai, Alaska. The Chinooks will come to bat. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball. We'll be right back. Tyler Boxwell will lead off the 12th inning for the Chinooks. And he will have a new pitcher to face in Jordan Crone.
Lefty-righty matchup here.
From UC Riverside, 5'9", 195 or 90 pounds. Crone will work out of the stretch. First offering to Boxwell, yanks this one towards the second baseman, Jordan Washam. He scoops up and throws on to first for the out. That'll bring up Matt Ferrudo. Cameron Baronic to follow.
Now, bat number 9, Matthew Ferrudo.
Getting a look at Jordan Crone. This is his 5th appearance, working 4 1/3 innings of work. No earned runs, but he has allowed 2 runs. Just hasn't had any earned ones. The Chinooks played a 13-inning game earlier this year that they won. It was on the road as well. Friddle looks to bunt, but pulls it back as the pitch is low and inside ball 1. They get low and outside. Up and in, the next pitch goes 2-0 to Fruto. despite dark clouds coming in. Nothing much on the radar to speak of.
What happened to the original radar? Just disappear?
No, just nothing on it.
Oh.
Here's the 2-0. Down. And it hit the inside corner at the knees. Makes it 2-1 against Mac Ferruto. Ferruto is 0 for 4. Reached on an error. Was stranded at third base in the 7th. Here's the 2-1 from Crone. Downstairs 3-1.
This game's a different story than we thought it would be. We thought it would be a race to who can get the first run in the 5th. Now it's a race to get who can get the first run in the game.
Shutout baseball from both pitching staffs thus far. Both teams left him loaded in the 5th. Big one. And Ferruto hits that one in the air. Softly the shallow center going out the shortstop Goluski, but coming in is Billy Wilson, the center fielder. He calls everybody off and makes the catch. 2 gone for the Chinooks in the top of the 12th. That brings up Cameron Baranek. Baranek had the big knock in the 13th against the Bucks. And back on June 22nd. Yep, that was his 3-run triple. Put the Chinooks ahead. 6-3 in that one. Then Teddy Christie came out, shut the door. Here's the first offering. Breaking ball, backdoors Baranek for strike 1 from Jordan Crone. Crone is the 6th pitcher the Oilers have used tonight out of their bullpen. There's another one throwing. The Chinooks, 8 innings from Braxton Wilkes. And 3 more from Jason Karkendi so far. Baranek swings and misses at that one. Goes 0-2 in the count. Jacob Ropes will hit following Baranek if Baranek can find a way to keep this inning going. Top of the 12th, no score from Kenai. Here's the 0-2. Baranek, foul ball at the plate. The catcher Diaz just could not hold on, or else that would have been first strikeout for Crone and just the 2nd strikeout for the Oilers bullpen. Abbott, Michael, and Ennis, all scoreless innings. Paul Lujan worked 2 and struck out 1. Here's the 0-2. Outside makes it 1-2. Set up outside was Diaz. Didn't get the call. Top of the 12th, a scoreless ball game. Without a doubt showing how evenly matched these two teams have been all weekend long. Here's the 1-2 offering, and Baranek hits that one into left field. Diving is Seifert towards the line and towards the wall and makes a spectacular catch, robbing Cam Baranek of extra bases. And I tell you what, Andrew, if that would have fallen, that would have been pretty close to at least a triple and maybe an inside the park home run considering the speed of Baranek. So a huge play by Seifert left field.
I am in shock, Garrett. That was an incredible catch by Seifert. And like you said, had that slipped past him, the way the outfield was set up, the center fielder not in any position to back him up immediately. And by the time that he caught that ball, Baranek was already halfway between first and second. That ball drops. He's got to get up. It's going to bounce into the wall, maybe take a couple weird hops. And you're right, an inside the park home run threat. But that's all theoretical, of course. He made the catch, a spectacular catch out there in left field. And here we are in the bottom of the 12th, and Travis Stone, the pitcher.
So Travis Stone will come aboard. Stone was given the loss yesterday. Left a runner aboard, and he ended up scoring on the hit by Bennett Oliver in the bottom of the 9th inning. So Stone comes in a record of 1-1. ERA of 2.79, working in 9 2/3 innings of work. Striking out 5 through that time and walked just 1. And also only giving up 9 base hits. So if he can record an out, his whip will go under 1. We are in the bottom of the 12th inning, scoreless still.
Amazing.
In Kenai.
Truly amazing.
So Travis Stone will have to face Bennett Oliver, Ted Bokey, and Brian Room. 3 base hits from the Oilers, 2 from the Chinooks. They combined for 16 yesterday, just night and day. So Stone, the sidewinder from Stephen F. Austin, fires home first pitch, and that's going to miss outside ball 1. Stone will transfer to Weatherford. Fastball, changeup, slider. The 1-0 outside, 2-0 now.
In Weatherford, that's JUCO.
He'll work at least 1 year there.
Yeah, Stone with the ultimate goal to maybe transfer to another D1 in Texas.
2-0. The offering to Oliver, that's going to be outside corner strike. No call. Okay, 3-0. Just when I think I got Tim Davis's strike zone down, it appears not. 3-0 outside ball 4, so Stone walks the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 12th, and Bennett Oliver brings up Ted Boakey. No action in the Chinooks bullpen. Of course, not many guys left down there. In terms of that can work. Plenty of guys out there that can pitch. Just will they be able to work? Luke Eichste still's got some innings. And Shane Armstrong had the jet early. Left yesterday. Jamie Ball hasn't worked in this series either.
Is that all that's left, really?
Yep. And a bunt is Boakey. It's a beauty. Stone has it near the third base line. The throw to first in time.
So now we see a situation that's all too familiar.
Yep.
Runner is second.
Nobody out.
Nobody
one
out.
One out for Brian Room.
California, Brian Room.
Room 1 for 4. Room and Diaz will be the next hitters. If the Fish can roll over and extend this ball game, it'll be Brobst, Bass, and Cromwell in the 13th. And Travis Stone has to lock down and get out of it. Scoreless game, bottom 12. Here's the pitch. And Room hits this one in the shallow center field. Will Bass, the shortstop, goes out and makes the grab for the second out. Big out for Travis Stone. 2 gone for the Oilers in the bottom of the 12th. Brings up Brent Diaz. Diaz is 1 for 4 today as well. Holding one of 3 base hits. Brent Diaz both singled back-to-back in the 5th. Oilers loaded the bases in that inning. Were held off the scoreboard. The other base hit coming from Jordan Washam in the top of the 11th, or in the bottom of the 11th, excuse me. First offering from Stone, breaking ball. Goes away, ball 1, and that started in the strike zone and bent towards the left-handed batter's box. A lot of movement on that slider from Travis Stone.
Yeah, it was a huge slider, and breaking balls look different from the Submarine Stylers.
1-0 offering. Here it comes. Diaz, roller, third base, and that's going to get into left field. They're going to wave the runner around. That's going to be down to Baranek. The throw to the plate is going to be not in time! Baranek made the throw on time. Boxwell had to come across the plate to make the tag. And Oliver comes home to score. And how about that? The Oilers going to walk off yet again, and Jordan Vieira pleading his case. How about ending a game on that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And that's your ball game, folks. With the Minnesota Oilers winning 1.
And Jordan Vieira still having an extended conversation with Tim Davis, but the final here, Peninsula Oilers win by a score of 1-0. And, you know, an absolute thriller here in Kenai, Alaska. And they are doing the end of the series handshake. Chinooks play probably the most entertaining series of baseball that we've seen so far this season. They just ended up on the losing side of all 40 games in a spectacular game. Pitched by Braxton Wilkes today, 8 innings of shutout baseball, only allowing 2 hits on the day. But after it took 12 innings of play, and, you know, the Chinooks come up empty-handed on this trip to Kenai, but they're going to head back home tomorrow to take on the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Grant Page will be starting that ball game. But a tough way to go out, especially with the long bus ride ahead of them. Gary, any final thoughts on this series?
No, not at all. Other than that, I mean, you play a team so tough for 3 straight days, and basically shouldn't have been in a situation to lose it yesterday, shouldn't have been in a situation to lose it today, and it came down to a bang play at the plate. Looked like the throw was in time, even though the throw was offline. Here today, just unbelievable to come down to Kenai and lose 3.
Yeah, that was not what we were necessarily expecting coming into this series. But the throw to the plate looked to be on time. Boxball dove in, and it looked like he got it. But the home plate umpire, Tim Davis, says safe at home. And that's how this one ends. But 12 innings of nail-biting baseball here in Kenai, Alaska. I'm Andrew Alex. The man next to me is Garrett Mansfield, and we will be right back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Chinooks Radio as the boys try to get back on track against their division rivals, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. From Kenai, Alaska, to wherever you may be in this world, we thank you for tuning in tonight and wish you a pleasant evening. Good night.